Give us a call, 03459 811111.
Yeah, let us know. Time now is just about 8:15 morning, and we're hearing that pregnant mums who smoke should be encouraged to use electronic cigarettes in order to help them quit. Now, leading charities are saying this and professional bodies as well. The Smoking in Pregnancy Challenge group says healthcare professionals should be more aware of the benefits of encouraging women to switch during pregnancy. Amy Endicott is an advisor with the Smoking in Pregnancy service in Leicester.
Vaping is a much safer alternative to smoking, and going with, Royal College of Midwife advice, women shouldn't be discouraged from doing so if that's their preference, that there are other licensed medications available as well, which we offer them, but vaping is not something that we would discourage women from doing because it's a safer alternative.
Were you surprised by this morning? Do you think pregnant women should be offered vaping as an alternative to smoking? Let us know. And let's talk to someone who is in the know this morning, Mike Cameron, who runs SMOKO, a business selling electronic cigarettes here in Kent. Morning, Mike.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. So obviously vaping still contains nicotine. Is that an issue for pregnant mums?
I'm not an expert when it comes to nicotine in pregnancy, but yes, electronic cigarettes do still contain nicotine.
What I'm really interested in as well, because we know as well, obviously, that part of the problem is the toxicity of ordinary cigarettes and the carbon dioxide and all the other chemicals that get into the mother and therefore the baby. Can you give us a breakdown of what actually is in an electronic cigarette?
Yeah, of course. So as everyone knows, normal cigarettes contain in excess of 4,000 chemicals and 50 known carcinogens. So we know they're not good for us, and there's years and years of research that have proven that. Electronic cigarettes, on the other hand, generally contain 4 simple ingredients. So propylene glycol and vegetable glycerin. And those are ingredients that are used in candy, gum, soft drinks, ice cream, cake mixes, a lot of food products that we eat every day. There's food flavoring, which is used in pretty much everything that we eat. And then, of course, there's nicotine as well.
So if somebody came into your shop and they were pregnant and they asked your advice, are you in a position to give them advice?
I always predicate everything in 2 ways. The first thing I say to people is if you can't quit smoking, then this is a great alternative. So if you're continuing to smoke 20 cigarettes a day versus electronic cigarettes are definitely a much better alternative to what you're doing. But I always suggest to people quitting is the best thing. And then and we've had this a few times where we're expecting mothers come in, we always suggest speak to your doctor, get that medical advice, because I'm not a doctor per se. But again, if you're not going to quit smoking and you're going to continue using cigarettes, then there's got to be, e-cigarettes or nicotine replacement therapy. They've got to be a better alternative.
And that's what everyone's saying all over the news today. So, Mike, you must be secretly rubbing your hands, actually. This is great PR, isn't it, for your shop?
Well, no news is no news is bad news, as they say in this industry. So, no, it's very positive, and I think as an industry, we spent about 5 years where the medical authorities and the medical groups were anti electronic cigarettes, and I think a lot of that was because they were comparing using electronic cigarettes versus not smoking, which is sort of comparing apples to oranges. It doesn't make any sense. And it's always important to compare using electronic cigarettes versus smoking cigarettes.
And what happens if you switch?
Absolutely. 100%.
Vaping is quite new still, isn't it? Do we know anything about the long-term effects, or is it too early to say?
It's still too early to say. The vaping industry has been around in the mainstream probably for the last 5 years. Over the last 24 months, in excess of 3 million people in the UK are using e-cigarettes now, which is a massive amount of people who used to smoke. And I think it's also, again, it's so imperative to look at it from a point of view of, if you continued smoking cigarettes for the next 20 years, well, we know what's going to happen with that. But if you're using an alternative that doesn't have the tar, it doesn't have the acetone, it doesn't have the carbon monoxide, it doesn't have the formaldehyde, then surely that's got to be a better solution than, smoking normal cigarettes.
Mike Cameron, thank you. That's all we've got time for. Who runs SMOKO in Tunbridge Wells, and of course would say it was a better solution, but we'd love to hear from you as well. Do you think it's a good idea? Pregnant women switching to vaping? Or maybe you just think, come on, stop altogether. Give us a call, 03459 811111.
19 minutes past 8 now. Time for Stephen Allen's Alternative.